Haha! I made this, I don't know, a while ago now. I can't remember how long ago. With beard bottle tops and veneer and a bit of copper rod. Now I love this thing. I love things that are like this sort of thing, you know? Simple, but fun. Anyway, I want to make one for my grandson for his Christmas present. He's 2 and he loves this sort of thing. Trouble is, he can't have this sort of thing. There's some really spikies on there, some real finger cutters. And of course, everything goes in his gob anyway, you know, he's a mess around with it. So I'm going to make one a little bit different, a little bit safer, if you know what I mean. Haha! Let's get on with it. Now, the first problem I come across is I need a smooth surface to cut the veneer on. And as you know, or as you can see, the surface of my workbench is well and truly shagged. It really is. There's nothing flat about it at all. So, I solved it with this. Found it in a skip, it'll do just fine. It's lovely and smooth, which my workbench isn't. It's more or less half a metre, more or less. So I will go with more or less because I am more or less, you know. So half a metre needed. But I want to make 2. So 2 half a metres. Yeah. Might as well just put it in half. This is going to take ages. Yeah, well. Right. I have done that, and I think I've only got enough to make 1. My eyes were bigger than my belly on that one. I thought I had enough to make 2, but only 1. So hey, I'm sorry. What I'll do, I'll make a big one, bigger than the other one, so it's like a double-handed shaker. Haha, that'll be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll make a bigger one, just 1, but bigger. Yeah, I found this. This was from when I made some 15-inch speaker cabinets for my bass amp, and I'll probably put a link up in one of these corners somewhere if I remember, but hey, I'm 50, I'm allowed to forget, you know. Anyway, this will be a great mould for a supersized shaker, so I'm going to use it. Yay! changed my mind. See, I cut that out, so, and I was thinking about just, you know, put the veneer out, glue around the outside, and then just clamp like that. But I changed my mind because that could cause straight bits in it, and I don't want that. I want a nice curve. But I'm still going to use this. I'm going to use it differently, and what I'm going to do, I found this, right? And this, a piece of offcut from when I made some shelving, and I'm talking like probably pre-dinosaur times, it was that long ago. If I remember, again, I'll stick a link to the video thing up. Again, I might forget. Hey, I'm going to use this, and I'm going to draw out the outside part of the mould, including the thickness of the veneer, because you have to remember that, else it won't fit. And then you'll see. Yeah, forget about the talking bit. Being a bit talky in this one, aren't I? Yeah, maybe I'll just be a bit talky in this one. Right, carry on. Ha! Too short. I've got some longer ones somewhere. Give me a minute. Thought so. That's more like it, eh? So the plan is glue up each piece of veneer, slap them in the mould, then put the second piece of the mould, voila, in there, and it holds its shape. Screw that down, leave it alone. Yeah, that's the idea, but we all know something else might happen. Right, okay, let's do it then. Right, that's that bit done. Now I've got to add the second part of the mould so I can get the curve right. But then I've got to find, now I've got to find some longer screws again. I've got to find these bloody screws, haven't I? Anyway, I'm going to find some, then we'll stick this down. Then I've got to leave it alone. Not meddle, not touch, let the glue dry. Aye? Bloody cold in here. It's been in here about 3 days now. It's 3 days? Yeah, about 3 days. Glue should be dry, but the nighttime temperatures are going right brassic, which means the glue dries slower, so I've left it for longer. I'm going to take it out of the mould now. Let's have a goose gander. Gander? Let's have a gander. Let's have a goose. No, that's wrong. Let's have a gander. Let's have a butcher's. Let's have a look. See if it's dry. Oh, that broke that then. Well, you might see on the underside, this was the side that was facing the table, is still not quite hard. See, it's still white, not translucent. That's purely because of temperature. But you might notice one thing. It's bloody huge. I mean, I know I said I was going to make a big one, but God, it's half the size of him. Good job he's got big hands. He can have a right old chuckle on this. And talking of what's going to be making the sounds on this, what's he actually going to be shaking? Those things are in here. Yeah, I'll show you. Come on. Yeah, bells, loads and loads of bells, big old bells. And that, if you remember, solves the problem of there being spiky finger cutty parts off the beer bottle tops from before. Hold on a second. So here's the original. God, look at the size difference. That's hilarious. Everybody's going to be laughing at that one. Anyway, on the original, see the spikes of the bottle tops? That's not very kid-proof or kid-friendly. So this is what I've changed them with. Loads of bells. Green ones. Red ones. It's actually quite Christmassy. Which coincidence really, I bought these 6 months ago. Well, yeah, lots and lots and lots of them. So that's what's going to be sprung between this piece and this piece here. Now I've got to probably find a piece of copper or brass for that, bit of rod maybe, but anyway, that's to come. I've got to sort out this humongous thing out, clean it up, sand it up, cut it up, do what I need to do before I stick the bells and whistles on, but with no whistles. It's huge. So the days roll on and the project continues, and I've now got all this scummy gluey stuff here to get rid of, and I think I'm just going to try it with my plane, my sander, anything aggressive really, just to get the shite off and then see what I'm working with, because then I can decide how big this thing is going to end up being, and also what kind of finish and la 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 la. First things first, get the scum off. Scum, now there's a good film. Yep, right, the scum's off, and I'll make a decision on how big this thing's going to be. I've got the end pieces, which are uneven and flappy here and here, so I'm going to chop off the ends to where I think it'll be okay. That'll give me sort of a finished size, somewhat, and then I know what I'm dealing with. I'll continue the tidying up of the ridiculous enormous hoop thing to give a little kid. and I cut the ends off. When I did that, and I've done this before when I've used veneer, I really like to seeing the layers. I mean, that's pretty much how pieces of wood are made by the tree anyway, but it's nice to see. So yeah, I've chopped the ends off, made it not so overwhelming for the little guy, and I'm going to continue cleaning it up a bit, and then I can look at getting the bar to put the bells on, because this will be the shaker with bells on. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a couple of places where there's some gaps in the veneer. I mean, it's perfectly strong, perfectly, but it's just gaps. You know, all gaps are to be filled, eh? So I'm going to try out for this. I've got some of this. I bought some of this this black super glue for something else I'm having a go on, and I'll sort of you know, give it a go to fill the gaps, and it also, because it's black, it'll mingle in and look all right, and wow. Cold, 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 cold. Yes, it is. I've got a throat on me and I've all snotted up, but the show must go on. Right, I painted it. Painted the old shapey thing. Needs another coat. Well, a few bits missing, but I've got to get on with this because it's going to be needed on the weekend, and today is Wednesday evening. Right, now is to add on the bells. Now to do this, I'm going to use this thin brass rod. It is very, very thin, but it needs to be thin, because if you remember the bells I showed you 25 years ago when I started this video, the attachment for them is very small. You see there? So it only allows for a thin rod. I think I'll be alright. Well, we're going to have to, aren't we? So the idea is drill through the top here, thread it through to the other end, threading bells on as we go, and then secure it by black super glue at the top and bottom. That should hold it, and being black, it'll blend in with the black paint that I've done. That's the idea. So first things first, I've got to find my drill bit, which one I'm going to use, and then I'll get on with it. Hey. That really is a better version for a little kid. The colours are Christmassy as well. He's going to shake the life out of this. Let's do a little comparison. That's the one I made whenever, years ago. It was a bit too spiky for him to use at the moment. This is his for Christmas. Double bells. Purely a bit of fun. And he will like it, I know he will. So now my only job left is to wrap this up for him and then be a good time.